How Master P flipped a $10,000 life insurance settlement into a $250 million business empire. When you browse our annual ranking of the richest rappers in the world, many of the top names are probably easy to guess. You've got your standard Dr. Dre, Kanye West, Diddy, and Jay-Z. But what about the number 8 rapper? A guy with a $200 million net worth who hasn't had a major hit in over a decade. In fact, his once dominant rap label filed for bankruptcy back in 2003, and his most recent, self-released studio album sold just 75,000 copies. In case you haven't figured it out yet, we are talking about the ultimate no-limit soldier, Percy Miller, better known as Master P. It might be hard to fathom today, but back in the mid to late 90s, no other rap label or CEO was more successful than Master P and No Limit Records. Master P pulled himself out of one of the roughest and poorest ghettos in New Orleans by launching a hugely successful business empire that earned him hundreds of millions of dollars. And it all started with a $10,000 life insurance settlement check. Master P, the early years. Master P was raised in the Caliab housing projects, one of the most violent and drug-infested areas of New Orleans. P planned to get his family out of the ghetto by playing in the NBA. After high school, he won a basketball scholarship to the University of Houston. Unfortunately, P's NBA dreams were dashed after he suffered a severe knee injury during the first few months of freshman year. In 1990, tragedy struck when P's grandfather was killed in a work-related accident. The one bright side of the accident was that it left Percy with a $10,000 malpractice insurance settlement check. Armed with $10,000 and 2 years' worth of junior college business classes, Master P decided to open a record store. He found a dilapidated building and struck a deal with the owner that gave him the first 3 months rent-free in exchange for cleaning and renovating the storefront. The 21-year-old future mogul soon launched No Limit Records and Tapes on San Pablo Avenue in Richmond, California. To reduce costs in those early days, Master P lived in a tiny storage room in the back of the shop with his wife Sonia and their 1-year-old son, Percy Romeo Miller Jr., aka the future Lil Romeo. No Limit Records and Tapes mainly sold West Coast gangster rap albums, with an emphasis on local East Bay artists like Tupac, Too Short, Rappin' Forte, and E40. Within a few months, the store was a hit in the community, and in 1991 Master P began selling his own self-produced album Get Away Clean through the newly launched No Limit Records label. To support the album, Master P set out on a West Coast tour as the opening act for Tupac and Too Short. Along the way, P connected with as many promoters and DJs that he could find. In 1992, after Master P's second album, Mama's Bad Boy, sold more than 150,000 albums independently, he decided to move No Limit Records back to New Orleans in order to make a real run at the label business. By 1994, its third album, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me, sold an unheard of 250,000 units independently, and No Limit Records grossed more than $900,000, striking it rich. Pretty soon, all the major record companies came calling. Leveraging his astonishing success as an independent artist, Master P was able to secure an unprecedented deal between No Limit and Priority Records. Not only would No Limit receive a $375,000 advance for every album produced and 75% of the wholesale price for every album sold. The standard at the time for a major artist like Madonna was 25 to 50%. But at the end of the deal, Master P would own every master recording from his entire roster of artists, including himself. Considering how successful he was as an independent artist without money, marketing, or national distribution, perhaps what happened next is not surprising. Master P's first album for Priority Records, Ice Cream Man, reached number 3 on the Billboard charts in 1996 and would eventually go platinum with over 1.7 million copies sold in the US alone. No Limit quickly churned out albums for roster artists like Silk the Shocker and C Murder, P's Brothers, Mystical, Mia X, and Steady Mobbin. By 1997, No Limit had produced more than 8 platinum albums. Between 1997 and 1998, No Limit released nearly 50 albums that often topped various Billboard sales charts. Master P's 1997 album Ghetto D, which featured his most famous song, Make M Say Ah, sold 3.2 million copies in the US. The single for Make M Say Ah sold over 1 million copies. The peak of success. Without question, 1998 was the peak year for Master P and No Limit Records. That year saw the release of Master P's penultimate album, MP Da Last Done. That album debuted at #1 on Billboard's Top 200 chart and sold a whopping 500,000 copies in its first week alone. The album would eventually go on to sell more than 4 million units. Capitalizing on their success, No Limit signed superstar rapper Snoop Dogg, whose deal with Death Row had recently expired. Snoop's first No Limit album, Da Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told, debuted at #1 on Billboard, sold 800,000 units in its first 2 weeks, and would eventually be certified 2x Platinum. Thanks to Snoop and the other hit-making artists at No Limit, Master P's label sold more than 20 million albums in 1998 alone. As if this wasn't enough, while No Limit was tearing up the Billboard charts, Master P was expanding his empire into a diverse array of side businesses. He launched a sports management company, a clothing line, a real estate firm, a phone sex business, a high-end travel agency, a video game company, and a film studio. No Limit Films produced a series of straight-to-VHS movies that routinely sold millions of copies. Between 1992 and 1998, No Limit Records sold $120 million worth of albums, and in 1998 alone, Master P's various business ventures generated revenues of more than $160 million. As of March 2013, No Limit Records has sold nearly 80 million albums worldwide, and Master P has a personal net worth of $200 million. The decline. No matter how much talent or luck No Limit had, it would have been extremely difficult to top the success of 1998. Between 1999 and 2002, Master P focused much of his time on trying to jumpstart an NBA career. He actually landed contracts with the Charlotte Hornets and the Toronto Raptors. He never made a regular season NBA roster, but he did play a few seasons in the Continental and American Basketball Associations. While he was shooting hoops, No Limit did release a few more platinum albums, including 2 from Snoop Dogg and 2 from his son Lil Romeo. Unfortunately, as Master P's focus shifted to basketball, America's taste in music shifted away from No Limit. Their most popular artists left for new labels, and by December 2003, No Limit filed for bankruptcy. In 2004, Master P launched new No Limit Records and released a self-produced album called Living Legend, Certified D-Boy, which only sold 75,000 units. In 2010, the label was renamed No Limit Forever Records, and today they represent a handful of lower and mid-level rap acts. But don't count Master P out just yet, as he proved time again. With a little hustle and luck, there really is no limit to your success. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.